What do you call it when people go to work? That is honestly really incredibly hard for me to imagine. Give me any kind of salary you want, I do not know, even if it were $1 million every single month, but you have to go from 8 until 6 and fill in the exact same column over and over again. Maybe I could manage to do it for just a few months simply to collect all that money and invest it somewhere else. But I truly would not be able to stand it for long. As someone who always tells the truth, I'll say that the only magical place we have is right here. All the miracles happen here and here. That's it. This is now my 11th year living here in Phuket, but very few people actually know my real story, how I truly ended up here and the reasons why I first came. Today, I will try to tell this story as transparently and honestly as I possibly can, including all the small nuances that many of you don't know at all. Nothing censored, both the good parts and the bad, just everything exactly as it really is. Back in 2014, I was running 4 different pharmacies in the city of Odessa, and they were taken away. This was still during Yanukovych's and Saakashvili's time. A regional project was created according to which all pharmacies in state institutions, and my pharmacies were in hospitals, were supposedly transferred to the state. In reality, of course, they went to a company run by officials where everything was sold and the profits went directly into the officials' own pockets. I also had cosmetic stores which were still operating at that time for a while, but the main business was still the pharmacies. This hit me very hard financially, and even more so, it deeply brought me down and affected me morally and spiritually, of course, because I was so used to feeling completely free and independent, having my own money and being a successful business owner. And now, basically, I was being deprived of everything. At first, I flew to Bali, stayed there for 1.5 years and worked for a company selling club vacations. After that, the company sent me to Phuket to fly here. I really didn't want to and had no intention of coming. I really liked Bali. I was probably earning somewhere right around 3,000 and 7,000 euros a month. It was roughly about that much, give or take. Then I eventually ended up living over in Phuket. Everything here is completely different. At first, I lived in a small studio apartment for 8,000 Thai baht a month, or at the time. Listen, but I lived like that for a long time. I lived like that until 2020. I worked for a company, I was an employee. Freedom was always important to me. I mean, I was a salesperson, but a free one. I always worked without a salary and only for commission. By the way, it's exactly these kinds of people that I'm recruiting for my team now. I was born in the most famous district of Odessa, Moldavanka. If you've seen the movie Liquidation, Misha, Yaponchik and so on, you know what kind of neighborhood that is. I lived in a shared communal apartment with a classic, totally crazy neighbor. You see, I come from a very ordinary family. You know, back when I was a bit younger, I always really liked to talk about what I had, exactly how much money I earned, which pharmacies I had opened up, and so on. And I deeply craved some recognition. But now I really like the old saying, happiness loves silence. For me, financial wealth is about the ultimate sense of freedom, when you can comfortably afford whatever you want at any given moment in time. For example, yes, a significant portion of that feeling is of course in your head. But I'm one of those people who could quite comfortably just pack up and leave right now for a year to travel around the world. But given my current situation right now, I can only afford to leave for 2 months to travel. I would like to go for a year. I have a wide variety of different projects that I'm not quite ready to discuss publicly just yet. And they consume a significant portion of my daily schedule. And I'm also the kind of person who doesn't like schedules. I really enjoy meeting with different people for some time and for certain occasions. And back then I worked in Odessa at the local stock exchange where we traded various stocks. And I also served as an administrator there, so I knew exactly when I had to come in. At 4:30 in the morning Ukrainian time, that exchange would finally open over in New York. And I would leave. I don't remember the exact time, but it was usually something like 9 in the evening. But then again, I would come in, and during that specific period of time, if I really wanted to, I would go and trade. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't trade. I've never brought up these questions with anyone here in Phuket, not once, and not with anyone. And you will be the first to find out about this. It's quite a sensitive topic. I'm originally from the city of Odessa, and the vast majority of my clients are people from Russia. No one really knows this, but I actually spent the entire year of 2022 living in Odessa. It all started on February 23rd. I remember that day I was on a date. I was with a lovely girl in a truly beautiful place. We were smoking hookah together, and in that moment, everything felt absolutely perfect. And then early in the morning, I woke up to find over 50 urgent messages from people in various different countries, from all of my clients. Artem, how are you? What has happened? I truly had no idea what was going on or what was happening at that moment. I checked the news and saw that something major had started, but I still didn't know exactly what it was. Then I see people writing that the war has started. On Instagram, I wrote, guys, it's probably Ukraine doing some kind of provocation, something like that. I didn't believe that in 2022, something like this could actually happen. Although just 3 days prior to that, I was sitting with my friend. He's the only friend I've known for 36 years. Yura told me, Artem, we have 3 days to leave. I said, Yura, it's the 21st century. What war are you talking about? Are you serious? What are you even talking about? And then what happened. At that moment, I was actually on vacation in Odessa, and my vacation ended up lasting the entire year of 2022. Until I was finally able to leave. And what really attracts me to Phuket is that a vast majority, perhaps 95% or maybe even more, are perfectly adequate, normal people who are actively seeking refuge from the political regimes that exist in all our countries. I still don't share in that sentiment, and for me, it doesn't matter if someone is crooked or cross-eyed. It truly makes no difference to me at all, you know? We all speak the same language, and we all come from the exact same geographical and cultural background. Interesting, isn't it? I am seeing the exact same picture in every single one of the CIS countries. They forcibly took my entire business away, and now they are taking away the businesses of my partners in other areas, which I will discuss with you in more detail. Closer to summer, they're taking away businesses as well. And this is a very common and widespread story. If you achieve success, if you start to become more visible to the world, if you begin to stand out just a little bit from the crowd, you suddenly become interesting to these people. Well, they're not really wolves. They're not wolves at all. They are merely scavengers who are completely unable to achieve anything significant on their own. These are people who are used to simply taking things away. The moment you start to become truly interesting to those around you, they of course will try to take a significant piece of what you have built for yourself. One of the primary things that really attracts me to a place like Thailand is that here you can create a business completely legally, entirely above board, in a beautiful manner, and continue to work with total freedom. Most people don't really pay much attention to clothing. Personally, I don't care what clothes I wear. It doesn't matter to me what specific clothing brands I choose to wear. I don't care what type of vehicle I happen to drive. People always judge me only by what I say. If I speak with wisdom and say the right things, people respect me and communicate with me. We came to an Indian wedding. Everyone is only interested in the end goal, which is to sell. The whole world is engaged in sales. We just sell different products. A wife presents herself to her husband as a woman who takes care of the children, the household, and all the other duties. One way or another, it may sound somewhat blunt, but it is still a form of selling. It's the same thing. I sell my services, someone sells their time, someone sells their consultations, someone sells their hands, someone does things with their hands. But what I can say for sure is that basically business is the main reason why I am here. There is plenty to do here. And strangely enough, my niche is the most competitive. Today, anyone is ready to sell you real estate. If you approach anyone on the beach, any manicurist, massage therapist, and so on, they will offer you real estate. But I truly believe that the market is still open for skilled professionals. Right now, there are actually very few people here who really genuinely know their field well. There are also several areas where honestly it's still too early to talk about them in detail, and a few that shouldn't be talked about at all. After all, I'm from Odessa. A hotel in Kata, 3 stars, 17 rooms. Ours is actually very good. It is quite tiny and compact, doesn't have its own pool, but we provide truly exceptional and attentive service. Please note, the average occupancy rate throughout the calendar year is consistently 92%. For MES, that is 92%. The way it came about is interesting. In 2019, Ruslan called me. He's someone I used to work with. He says, Artyom, it's urgent. We have land 90 meters from the beach. It's up for rent. And he told me the price, some ridiculously low amount. I said, Ruslan, calm down. That just doesn't happen. He says, Artyom, come over. You need to see it right away. I came over and took a look. There was an old hotel there, really tired looking. But the location, it's 90 steps from the beach. Honestly, it's just gold. And the price was very attractive. I quickly called Masha. Masha at that time was my client, and it wasn't her first time coming to me. And it wasn't her first time buying from me either. I said, Masha, they're offering land. Let's open a hotel. The investment required is about this much. By the way, I wasn't too far off, I'll say that. In terms of those investments, payback period, I can see this process unfolding over a period of 3 to 4 years. Back then, I was earning some relatively small amounts of money, like 3, 5, 7, or even 10,000 euros, but I just couldn't seem to break through that glass ceiling. After I had accumulated a certain significant amount of money, energy, and time, I finally decided to start my very own real estate company and began the process of developing my own personal brand. It was very important for me to make some kind of boost, some kind of leap forward. And I managed to do that largely due to the support of vibrant communities. There are about 30,000 Russian-speaking expats currently residing there in Phuket at the same time. And so every single day without fail, I started going to every local event and gathering I could possibly find, telling everyone I met, hey guys, I'm Artyom and I work professionally in the real estate industry. I would go on with the usual talk saying, let's collaborate and work together, which is actually something that Vlad Bermuda is teaching people to do now. If anyone here is interested in a partnership, I am more than happy to share my commission with you. Perhaps you will bring some new clients to me, and then together we can successfully make a sale. And that is exactly how the whole journey started, moving forward step by step, and it eventually led to the point where now I feel I have more than enough. My company itself is not particularly large in size, but the total volume of my personal sales is very satisfying and rewarding for me. I have a general understanding of the sales figures and inventory volumes that the most prominent corporations on the island are selling, and I compete directly with them in the market. I opened a kindergarten in Phuket. It was a very interesting experience, and it actually ended up being a truly excellent investment for me. I exited at just the right time. I made a good profit. I locked in my results. As of this very moment, this kindergarten is not in operation. But let's not go into the reasons why. If I do things the way they should be done, I feel very uncomfortable. And at this particular moment in time, I really like this word, visionary. I truly enjoy the role of being a visionary leader, especially when I say, guys, that is exactly where we are headed. And I need a dedicated team that will go there with me together and move forward with incredible speed and efficiency. There was a time back then when I was a real lone wolf, you know? I worked at this specific company and I used to talk about it quite a bit. And for example, back in 2017, my total sales volume at that company was actually twice as high as that of 8 other guys all combined together. And at the time, I didn't share exactly how I did it. That is to say, I knew some specific secrets, but I simply didn't share them with anyone else. Now I'm at a different stage. There's a business club called Terra here. It's also in Moscow and basically all over Russia, and I think in Kazakhstan too. I teach there from time to time. I take on various groups and teach people exactly how to build a successful business from the ground up. Basically, almost all businesses are structured in much the same way. It really doesn't matter what kind of company you're building, there's always a general structure to follow. The results are truly impressive, and these people are growing significantly. 2 to 5 times growth for those who want it. I've noticed that who wants it? I've noticed who actually wants it. Not many people want it. Very few want it. You tell them what to do, but you actually have to go and do it. And to go and do it, you have to take responsibility. But if you take responsibility and don't follow through, then in your mind you'll see yourself as a failure. It's easier not to take responsibility and just not do anything. So, well, in my opinion, from what I have observed so far, probably only 1 out of 10 people actually achieve something significant. In general, I think it is pretty much the same way in life.